So welcome back, everyone. We're live on Facebook, so I want to say hi to everybody out there. You know, we've been talking so much, we almost forgot we were on the radio in here. It's Friday. I have with me Dr. Joseph Blake, and I don't. We were calling you a little bit of a financial advisor. What would you call yourself?
It's investment advisor. Yet when I introduce myself mainly as I'm an author, investment advisor, and a PhD professor.
And you talk about actionable financial literacy. Literacy is what we're talking about here,
right,
more than anything. Understanding how to make your money grow and
Yep, a little bit
wealth.
of that is because financial literacy is gaining access to economic information and then making use of those concepts. And what makes it actionable is you take the information and you take it from where you learn it at and be able to share it with others. And you get it out there to the public, to your family and others. That's what makes it actionable.
Well, something as exciting is going to be happening for you at the end of the year, by the end of the year, hopefully. Tell them what's going on.
I'm writing my third book, which will complete my trilogy. I have financial literacy, which lasts a lifetime, financial legend, which lasts a generation, and financial legend, which means when you say my name, you'll know my story. And that's for you. When you say your name, your family will know your story.
Well, we're going to open up the lines to the audience, and we're going to enter everybody in to win. I'm going to say Joseph, okay? Because right now, it is a trilogy. It will be a trilogy, I'll say it that way. But do you think that they should read Joseph first?
Yes, they should be the one on literacy first.
Right.
They come in order for a reason, for a purpose.
Right. That's why I'm going to say, so I'm going to put it up on Facebook right now for everybody that's looking at us on Facebook. And we're going to open up the lines of the audience for everyone to get entered in to win. It's Joseph, Building Financial Literacy. Now, you have to mention that your name is Joseph, but
Yes.
to explain this, explain it.
Joseph is about the Bible, Joseph, Genesis chapter 40. And my name just happens to be Joseph because some of the things that Joseph, his life mirrors, my life mirrors his. Because he grew up, he was in a difficult location, I was in a difficult location, originally from Baltimore, Maryland. It's not the easiest place to grow up, but went through those things. And I felt like, and then he became the highest person in Egypt. Now, I'm not the highest person in the U.S., but I'm in a better place than where I was before. And I say, wow, look at him. He's in finance. He handles Egypt's finance. I'm in finance. I've been doing this for 32 years.
Wow. 32 years. I got to write that down. Congratulations.
Yeah. And Joseph in the Bible started when he was 30. I got licensed when I was about 30.
Wow, that's so awesome.
Yeah.
You get so many similarities. And what we want to do is we want to open up the lines of the audience for everybody to get this book, number one. It's Joseph, Building Financial Literacy. And our number here is 602-277-5369. And toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. I think what's important for also people to go up onto your website as we're talking to kind of see some of the, everybody likes to do that, especially that you have so much,
Yes.
information there as well. You also have your show.
Yes.
That you want to talk a little bit about that's on Facebook, that's on Saturdays at
11 a.m.
Uh-huh.
It's on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter,
Okay.
and YouTube.
So all of the platforms.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and sometimes my oldest son helps me. My oldest son has a master's in information technology, so he brings a technology aspect to the teaching as well. He's an instructor at there's a college in Georgia. It's kind of like a spinoff from Georgia Tech. But my oldest boy, he's also a military veteran, Air Force veteran like myself as well.
Thank you. Thank you for your service too. Check out the website. It is actionablefinancialliteracy.com. Now, I want to talk, we talked a little bit about just a second ago, a little bit from where you came from, but what a foundational principle or belief shaped your earliest financial decisions and strategies?
What shaped it initially was growing up in Baltimore and my mother. And that's my first book, Financial Literacy, is dedicated to my mother. We didn't have much growing up, but my mom made it seem like we had a lot. And a lot of my lessons, growing up, I was like a little small business owner. My mother bought me a bike, and my bike, I was like the original Uber Eats.
That's funny.
Yeah, so she would make meals for the elderly folks in the neighborhood, and
You would deliver them.
I would deliver them, and I would get paid for it. So that shaped who I was as a business owner from the very beginning.
That's awesome.
Yeah, shine shoes, delivered newspapers. It was a lot that shaped it early, and that foundation, power, it compounded later on in life.
It's awesome. When we were younger, those things were put onto us.
Yeah.
They should do that today. A lot of people don't. But you know what? Doing those things and making your kids do some of those things turns around, and it really is something special when we grow up, because
Yeah.
it's something that just gets embedded into you.
Yes, that's true.
Looking back, what was the most significant risk you took, and what was the key lesson that you that you learned?
A couple of risks. First one was when I joined the Air Force, and they told me that when you go to the military in the basic, they get you all in the room and tell you your job. When they booked me in basic, they said, "Okay, Blake, firefighter." I was like, "Firefighter? What?" I was afraid of fires.
Oh no!
So and I was like, "Oh, Mom, you're a big firefighter." Well, I ended up going to basic training. I would go to fire school in Illinois. Loved it. So I got over that fear by facing it.
That's awesome. I
Yeah.
love that.
Yeah,
What
so
else?
that took me over that one hump. The other thing is being an investment advisor. I was afraid to talk to people because being a firefighter, you didn't have to talk to them. Somebody's on the ground. So they're gonna help. You're gonna need help, but being able to go into burning buildings and doing those things helped. But when I sat down with someone and I helped them get from one position financially into another, that was a big thing.
That's awesome.
And my wife, sometimes you have the toughest client is family, and you could just put another client in.
Especially your wife.
Yeah, because sometimes the spouse is the doubting Thomas.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So when you get that person, they get into a financial position or another family member, that's
And
awesome.
if you can help them, you can help anybody.
Yeah.
We've got our lines open here for everyone to get entered in to win. The book right now is Joseph that we're talking about. It's his first book. He's got his trilogy that's going to be finished by the end of this year.
Yes.
And we've got our lines open here. I believe this book is a book that can help any college student, any even high school student. It's all about really becoming learning literacy with your money.
Yes,
Right?
yes.
And your finances. And our number here is 602-277-5369. Everybody should have them. When we think about some of the people that we listen to today, Dave Ramsey and all of that, come on, folks, it's time to get your what together with your finances. And that's what you help people with.
Yes, 32 years.
32 years,
Yeah,
it's
and
awesome.
It's wonderful, yes.
Absolutely. Now, here, I'm going to get one more in here
Okay.
for this. So how do you differentiate between market noise and the genuine opportunities that lead to long-term success?
Okay. I always read the Word. And there's this one scripture in there talking about Matthew 7:13. It said the road is to enter the narrow gate. Because wide is the way and broad is the way. Wide is the road and broad is the way that leads to destruction. But narrow is the gate and small is the way that leads to life. Well, if everybody is doing something and it's going the wrong way, you don't need to follow.
No.
But people tend to do that.
Right.
So just because everybody's going over here and this, oh yes, let's do this investment. No, that's not the right way. Just because they're doing it don't mean you have to do it too. So the market may be going a certain way, it's going down. No, don't do that. You do the opposite. Just because everybody else doing it, don't mean it's right.
Also,
Yeah.
when you talk to people, do you find that everybody's different? They have a different situation.
They do have a different situation, and just just because your buddy on the job is doing it, don't mean it's gonna be right for you.
Exactly. Now, we've got our lines open here for everyone to get entered in to win his first book. He's got 3 of them. And you are a best-selling, 3-time best-selling author. And we've got our lines open for everyone to get the book, Joseph, Building Financial Literacy. You're getting entered in to win. Our number here is 602-277-5369. And toll-free, it's 1-866-536-1100. You can check him out anywhere, walmart.com, amazon.com, and you can also check him out on his website, which is actionablefinancialliteracy.com. Hang tight, we're going to be back in just a minute.
You know, I was talking to the students, and I always talk to them about the purpose of money and everything. The one question I always ask my students, I said, what is money made of? And no matter where I'm at, I always get the same response. Oh, it's made of paper. No, it's not made of paper. And they
Made of bark.
Well, it's 75% cotton, 25% linen. So that's clothing. It gets old, it gets worn, it gets torn, it needs to be replaced. You say, really? Yes. So what it's really made of? That's like that 75% cotton, 25% linen. So it's like this chair. This is a chair. That's a chair. There's another chair. So it's the idea chair, because you can take these chairs any other country and sell it and make money that way. So then I have so I have these are all examples of money.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, well, which one of these are money? They all are,
Yeah.
because they come from different countries.
Uh-huh.
So it's the society that makes what money is, or says what money is. So you can take these chairs, go to any one of these countries, and make money in these countries. So it's not the money you want to focus on. You want to focus on how to create.
How to create building. not
Create
building,
wealth.
Create wealth.
So
Create
you have
wealth.
you don't know how to make the idea of create this chair, you can go to any one of these countries and make it. You want to create a radio show?
Yeah,
You can go to any other country and
You
create a
can.
radio.
you can.
That's why
All it takes is a little money.
little money, little idea.
Mm-hmm.
Just,
Good idea.
just the idea.
Mhm.
Podcasts.
Right.
Podcasts are everywhere. You can create a podcast here and be broadcasting all the way over in Singapore, and you still make money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I think coming up with an idea, and sometimes things are just a whim and they turn into something. You know, you could even have a hobby that you do
Mhm.
that turns into something that you can make money out of. And I think a lot of people don't realize even what they're sitting on,
Right.
you know? And how they start, how you start, it's so important.
Yeah.
How you're taught, that's another thing, how
Mhm.
you're taught, right?
Yeah.
It's interesting because I know this was a whim. It wasn't a planned thing.
It starts that way.
It did. It happened to do that. I mean, I did not know that people could do something like this, you know? And I happened to have already had a group, a networking group, and so it was like, well, wouldn't it be fun for them to come on the radio and talk about what they do,
Right.
you know? And so, and it grew and it grew and it grew, and that's how things happen.
That's financial literacy.
That's right, thank you. And I'm still learning, believe me. So welcome back. I love it. We've been talking a little bit on Facebook land here, and Dr. Joseph and I have been talking a little bit about how things happen sometimes and how you can make your money grow and how they happen with great ideas. And,
Yeah, right. I was because sometimes when people hear money, they think that what I ask them, what is money? What is money made of? And most people, when they say what is money made of, well, it's made of paper. And I have to kind of give you the reality that no, money's not made of paper. Money is made of 75% cotton, 25% linen. Well, yes, money is made of clothing. Something that gets old, it gets worn, it gets torn, and need to be replaced. But the idea of creating it, that is eternal. Okay, so like the chair you're sitting in, there's a chair that you're sitting in, there's a chair in the other room, there's a chair in the third room. So the idea of creating that chair, that's eternal. So you can take that chair and go to Singapore. You can take that chair to go to England. You can take that chair to go to Thailand, and you can sell that chair in any one of those countries and make money based on the standard of money in those countries.
Mm-hmm.
So that idea can be sold anywhere, and you make money based on that country, because that country determines what money is.
So we've got our lines open here for everyone to get entered into win. He is a 3-time best author, and we've got our lines open for everybody to win the first book of 3. And the last book is being finished by the end of the year, so you'll have all 3 of them. But Joseph, Building Financial Literacy, and our number here is 602-277-5369. You can go to other platforms, but if you want to call in here, you're going to get it from me. Entered into win, the winner gets to win 1 book. So let me go over here. Beyond financial metrics, what personal qualities or habits do you believe are most crucial for sustained success in the financial world?
Well, being consistent in what you do, being consistent in watching the markets, seeing what they're about, and sometimes when people look at it, the Dow Jones, that's one thing that everybody looks at, and the definition of the Dow Jones kind of throws people off. I'll give you a definition. This is going to sound crazy to y'all. I'm telling you that it's going to sound crazy. But the Dow Jones is 2 cats.
Okay,
Right?
really?
A guy named Dow, you got a guy named Jones. That's why I said 2 cats. The Dow Jones, back in the 1870s, those 2 gentlemen came up with ways of being able to monetize or add the market, or calculate the market. Now, only 30 companies make up the Dow Jones. So those 30 companies, they look at those 30 and see how that profitability are, and that measures what they use to make up those Dow Jones numbers. Now, that's been going on since 1870 something. And that Dow Jones still is the main ruler, so to speak, that measures the market as a whole. Now, there are other ones out there, like the S&P, the Russell 2000, other one is like 29 other measures out there, and that's in my book too. It tells you about those other measures. But they look at the Dow and they measure how it is. Now the Dow, if you look back at the Dow Jones in like early 92, the Dow was down at 3,200. Where's the Dow Jones now?
Damn.
Depends.
On the day?
Yeah, it depends. If the Dow Jones is at 3,200 in 1992, right now it's at 49,000. Is it up or down?
It's up.
Right. So it depends on when you started. If you started like yesterday, yeah, you're gonna say it's down. But if you started putting money in 1992, you're like saying, hey,
Yeah.
Right? So you gotta, and this is a biblical principle. You gotta plant your seed, give it some time, then you reap the harvest.
But you do have to plant the seeds, but I gotta ask you, is it ever too late?
No, the best time to plant your seed would have been 15, 20 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
The second best time to plant your seed is now.
Right now. You gotta do something, especially you want to have that what we call actionable financial literacy.
Yes.
And that is also something which you've talked about many times, is not only for you, your children, but your grandchildren.
Right. You want to be able to, that's the literacy side of it, because you get the information, but then you have to be able to teach it to others. You gain the information, you get it, and I make it simple in the book where you get the information, then you share it with your loved ones, they share it with theirs, and the actual side of it is when you teach it to other people, you teach it to others.
When you know something good enough that you could teach them and they understand it, it's
Mhm.
another part of it. They have to understand it, you know that you've got it. Now you can check it out on his website. It's actionablefinancialliteracy.com. We do have our lines open here for everyone to get one of his books. The first book is Joseph, Building Financial Literacy. The third one will be coming at the end of the year. That'll be the full trilogy of this. And start off with the first book, and our number here is 602-277-5369. Okay, where am I going here? What is one widely accepted financial truth that you believe is fundamentally understood or outdated? Misunderstood.
Misunderstood.
Sorry.
Well, with this, when I'm talking about truth, Mahatma Gandhi had a statement one time. He said, truth is one, paths are many. So truth is one, paths are many. Right? So we all want to get to financial independence. There are many ways to get it done. And you have to ask yourself, are you doing it? Of all the years that you work, you say if you worked 10 years and you've been making $30,000 for over that 10 years, so that's $300,000, a little bit more than that you made. Say you made $1 million. How much have you kept? What truth is that if you haven't kept anything? So you got to be true to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So there's many paths to that truth. What have you? Do you have a retirement plan? Do you have a 401k plan? What have you done? What is your truth to yourself that you're taking?
You know what? I hate to say this, so many people, they've probably been millionaires how many times? By that money's gone through their hands and they've been millionaires, right?
Yes.
Or you've made a lot of money, and I'm gonna use my ex as an example, and I know he might even be listening, but he made a lot of money, okay? But he had the crash,
Yes.
he lost it, but he also he didn't do what he should have done, like what you're talking about.
Yes.
And, you end up with what?
Blah blah blah.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's sad to see how many people have nothing to show for all the money that they earn.
Right. Now, this is not, what I'm doing is just bringing you out full view so you can see the whole thing.
Get closer to say that.
Yeah, you bring you out further so you
So
can
you can
see the whole picture. So you got to see yourself so you can be yourself, so to speak. Like, so my books, there are 3 different colors. The first one is gold series, the second one is emerald, the gold, sapphire, and the third one is emerald. Those are all precious metals. Do you know how long it takes for the precious metals to develop? Millions of years. Gold, gold, sapphire, emerald. It takes millions of years for those things to develop. So in saying that, it takes time for us to sometimes understand the fact that finances need to grow. Finances need to be built up over time. So I know what we're talking about now. We may be talking to the choir, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
It takes time. So but the first time you need to build plant a tree would have been 20 years ago. Second best time is today.
Let's make a change today.
Yeah.
I think that's so important. Again, you can call in here and get the book. It's Joseph, Building Financial Literacy. It's the first book, and you read these in order. They're wonderful. They're great books that you're going to understand them, easy to understand.
Yes.
Right? And great for high school. Start somebody off early and get everybody together instead of just, maybe you're going to play a game that night. Maybe read about financial literacy, but actionable financial literacy. It's just one thing to know about it, it's another thing to do something about it.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And so our number here is 602-277-5369, and toll free it's 1-866-536-1100. I might be able to get to one more. So what could you offer a single piece of advice to someone starting their financial career today? The last one, right here.
Okay. Start putting away. The word says put away give 10% to the God. At least do 5 or 10% to yourself.
Yeah.
To get started. Put that aside for yourself and your type of retirement 401k. Do something for you. And then after that, you got 4 windows of success. I can teach you about that. That's in the book also.
Our number here is 602-277-5369, and toll free it's 1-866-536-1100. Do yourself a favor and call in here and get entered in to win the book. It's Joseph, Building Financial Literacy, and you can check him out. It is actionablefinancialliteracy.com.